Can you explain how? That is ridiculous. How dare any of you look surprised? Hello friends, Steve Dangle here, and welcome to another edition of Steve's Hat Picks, where we take a look at the best from around the NHL over the past week. Last week, you might have noticed there wasn't an edition of Steve's Dang It's, and that's because I've been a little sick and under the weather, and that in itself is a dang it. But this week, Tuesday, Hat Picks, Thursday, Dang It's. That's the plan. So let's get right down to it. And let's start with the overtime winner from the game that I went to and probably shouldn't have because it got me sick. The Toronto Maple Leafs tie it up late against the New York Rangers. It goes to overtime and Mitch Marner does this.
Liljegren, Camp, and Marner to begin. And Mitch Marner's in. Up against Panarin. Marner ducks in to the net. Scores! An incredible game winner for Mitch Marner.
Matthews is changing for Camp here as he goes off. The Rangers all just kind of standing still. Not a great effort by Panarin, but how about the patience and aggressiveness of Mitch Marner going right to the net, putting the puck, making sure his stick can't get caught. You know, he doesn't have a whole lot of speed here, but the one thing Marner can do is stick handle under pressure, stick handle in tight corners. Holds off there, puts the puck there to an area, and just hangs on enough to get it past the glove of Shesterkin. What a great overtime individual effort by Mitch Marner.
That is ridiculous. You know what makes it more wild? Forget that he just completely burns Artemi Panarin and makes it look like he doesn't know how to skate. Forget that he breezes by Keandre Miller. Forget that he absolutely outweights and outlasts the reigning Vezina winner in Igor Shesterkin. That Mitch Marner goal was essentially scored with two players on the ice. The Leafs have been trying all sorts of weirdness on the opening faceoff of overtime and starting David Kampf out there for like defensive something or other. I don't know. So because the Leafs had possession of the puck and they were trying to enter the offensive zone, Kampf's like, all right, my time here is done, and he goes to the bench so that Matthews can come on. But pretty much by the time Matthews has both feet underneath him, Marner is celebrating a goal with Liljegren, and because they were the only two Leafs on the ice. Well, that and the goalie. Samsonov was down there too. What an unreal individual effort from Marner. That is a hat pick. And we're not done with impressive OT goals, no. Check out this end-to-end rush from Mats Zuccarello.
Holdy goes off. Here's Zuccarello. Kaprizov onto the ice. Zuccarello through the legs. He scores! Zuccarello, the hero in overtime.
Watch Matt Zuccarello challenge. Now this is a 1-on-2. Outside, inside, nutmeg.
You give up the lead. Inside of 2 minutes left in the third. Go to overtime. And Mats Zuccarello takes matters into his own hands.
How dare any of you look surprised? Mats Zuccarello, 79 points in 70 games last season. 48 in 46 this season, but a much better goal scoring pace. He had 24 goals all of last season. He's already at 19, and that's one of them. You know that Halloween episode of The Simpsons where there's a fog that turns people inside out? Travis Konechny is people, and Mats Zuccarello is the fog. I believe that fog was green as well, so it's appropriate. Fantastic goal. That's a hat pick. For our next hat pick, don't look now, but at the time I'm shooting this video, the Boston Bruins have lost 3 straight. What does that mean? I don't know. Like literally, they haven't done that all year. So I was wondering if you knew. Part of the reason they're on this little skid, Seth Jarvis. Filthy.
Out of the zone it goes. Jarvis tried to knife it away from Carlo, and he does. Now Jarvis in on Allmark. Jarvis backhand, he scores! Oh, Seth Jarvis!
Took a look. Felt Hall coming, kept it on the wall. Jarvis tips it to himself, then turns the puck over on Carlo. And what a move. I mean, he had Allmark, a probable Vezina winner at this point. He had him twisted and turned like a pretzel.
I'm pretty sure Seth Jarvis is going to be a staple of Steve's hat picks for years to come. Feels like he always pops up because he's capable of stuff like that. That's a hat pick. Now, the Hurricanes aren't always on the good end of a hat pick. In fact, on this one, they're the team who gets scored on. And that's just me telling you they got scored on. Here's your homework. Can you explain how? Here's Jason Robertson.
He left circle a shot. Robertson tip, bounces off the post. It stayed out. Then baked in by Robertson. From no angle. And it's another for the Stars' leading scorer. Dallas moves in front.
How about this? They put the puck in behind the Canes and go after it. A stab toward the net that Anderson barely keeps out, but he never seals the pipe. And give Jason Robertson a crack, a sliver, and he'll put the puck in the net. It entombed itself on top of the still photography box in behind. Little whack to get it out of danger is what Anderson thought, but he left a little window by his hip.
Where does that go in? I'd be more impressed if I even knew where that puck went. It's like it teleported through Frederik Andersen. That is actually more impressive. He did something that, as of now, with current human technology, is impossible. Listen, Connor McDavid has kind of taken over the Hart conversation, but put some respect on Jason Robertson's name. That's a hat pick. So, to start Steve's hat picks this week, we've been looking at a lot of goals. And we're going to continue, but we're going to look at the disrespected cousin of the goal, the assist. Here's Nathan MacKinnon literally taking a hit to make a play.
The Avs have a 2-on-1. Here's MacKinnon. Wants to give it off. Puck down deep. Score! Arturi Lehkonen. MacKinnon took a big-time shot. He made the play, and Lehkonen rips it past the blocker of Kemper, and MacKinnon paid the price.
Well, Dmitry Orlov just kind of steps up. MacKinnon didn't think he was coming. And oh my goodness, look at the second effort of MacKinnon. So he gets hit. My guess is he gets winded. But right there, with no wind in his belly, he's still got the strength and power to push it to Lehkonen. And what a shot for the goal.
Career point number 700 for Nathan MacKinnon.
You know, that is a heroic play from MacKinnon, and it looked really cool. But I just can't help but laugh at Dmitry Orlov throwing a hit on a 2-on-1. I've seen it in video games lots of times and done it also, but never in real life. But MacKinnon, he takes the hit. There's a trailer coming to help out Orlov, and he knows that, so he pool cues it to Arturi Lehkonen, who buries it, and you gotta bury that. You can't waste that. What a finish from Lehkonen, but what a setup from Nathan MacKinnon. Our next hat pick comes from a team that is often in hat picks, a line that is often in hat picks, and a player who is often in hat picks. Tage Thompson, along with Alex Tuch and Jeff Skinner. Look at this ridiculous passing play.
That is picked off by Alex Tuch. He leads a rush of 3. Now Skinner on the left side. Back for Alex Tuch. He draws it back. Thompson scores! Tic-tac Thompson on that goal. The Sabres take a 2-0 lead in Winnipeg.
Right here, look at that speed they come up through here. This is Tuch, and he's going to feed this to the outside. Skinner drives his man over, and a nice little pass to the net back to Tuch. Everybody forgets about Tage Thompson coming down the gut of the ice. There it is. He's wide open. Net's wide open. Hellebuyck's taking a stroll in the corner.
Ew! Look at what they did to Connor Hellebuyck. Look at it. Can we just get a screenshot of him very not in the net? Look at this! Look! He's nowhere close! Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'd kind of be fun if they made the playoffs. Listen, only 16 teams get to make it, but if it all ends after game 82 for the Sabres, that will be sore for these videos. The Sabres score a lot, and when they do, it's ridiculous. That goal was if the Sedins were triplets. That's ridiculous! And that is a hat pick. For our next hat pick, I mentioned that the Bruins are on a mini skid right now, but generally, they're pretty good. David Pastrnak, he's pretty good. Here he is making the Tampa Bay Lightning skid.
Puck just rolled past him. There's a slap shot by Lindholm that's blocked. Rebound, Pastrnak dancing around, dishes off Krejci, gives it up, and they score. And the Bruins have tied the game. It's going to be Saka on the business end.
Dangerous shots. Adam Hall talked about that from the slot area. Defense is a combination of zone and man-on-man. Some beautiful moves there by Pastrnak, and then Krejci's awareness, who pushes off and then gets a little bit of room, but Vasilevsky comes out to confront him. And when the pass goes off to the side, Zacha is ready for it right there, and he pulls the trigger right away.
That's a secondary assist. Pastrnak only got a secondary assist for that. Dude, it's a big thing in stats, like primary points. We're talking goals. We're talking primary assists. I'm sorry. Your model has to account for stupidness like that. I almost said stupidness because I meant to say foolishness as well because I ran out of words. For that goal is absurd. And the most absurd part was the secondary assist. Who do you complain to? That's a hat pick. We got a couple more feeds coming at you. Patrick Kane definitely looking to get traded on account of the Blackhawks are going nowhere at breakneck speeds. And even though Kane has had a pretty rough season by his own standards, this play shows you the kind of attention he draws in and the kind of plays he can still make.
Here's Dewar, had a getaway. Athanasiou bumps it back, and it's worked out by Dickinson ahead to Kane. Kane, Dickinson, right in, scores! Jason Dickinson on the setup by Kane makes it 3-1 Chicago.
Watch a set of hands from Kane just inside the blue line. Well, take it right away from Weegar and set up Dickinson for his 6th of the season. But those hands, I mean, that is beautiful. Little saucer pass as well. And there's Dickinson able to quickly elevate.
Yeah, I know it doesn't seem like much. Like the first time I saw it, I'm like, okay, that's just sort of a nice play. He draws 2 defenders in and then just beautifully backhand flutters it onto the tape of his teammate. Imagine that, but not on the 2023 Chicago Blackhawks. Could be something. That's a hat pick. Even dirtier than that, McDavid and Draisaitl. I don't know if there's a more terrifying duo in hockey. Watch them work a give and go here, and it's even funnier because they didn't need to.
Over to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who takes a look. Pass was midair, now picked up by Draisaitl to McDavid. Back to Draisaitl, and they score on the power play. 2 for 2 on the night. McDavid, his 2nd assist, and Draisaitl's 29th goal this season.
In their previous 8 games coming into this one, but this is the #1 power play in the National Hockey League for a reason, and it's stay with it. They can attack you so many ways. They can be up high. You saw the point shot on the Barrie power play goal in the first period, but when they attack low, they did try this. Their first sequence in the first period, but a beautiful pass to Draisaitl. What a finish. As he's able to elevate. Doesn't take much for him to get a good shot away. It's McDavid, gets himself to a spot, the spin, no look.
You know what's amazing? Like that spin pass from McDavid, that was already going to a target. Like he did his job twice over. He did his job so well that Draisaitl was able to just swoop in and just take it right back and shoot and score. Truly the Harlem Globetrotters. Like McDavid, that was an assist. But he's going to screw around and get like 70 goals. You know that, right? Go look how many goals he has now. I'm not even going to tell you. Go look how many goals McDavid has right now. How many goals do you think he has? You're wrong, by the way. I bet you said some big number starting with a 3. Like, oh yeah, I'm really overshooting it. Oh yeah, you think so? They're mutants. They're monsters. That's a hat pick. But you know what? For our final hat pick, they might be mutants and they might be monsters, but they are mutants and monsters with a heart. The Edmonton Oilers up big on the Chicago Blackhawks. 4 goals with 2.5 minutes to go. You could throw anybody in net for that, right? Well, the Oilers decided that's a great idea.
Matt Berlin looks like he's getting set to come on the ice, and there he is with the Golden Bears pads. Getting a standing ovation here from the Oilers faithful. 25-year-old Matt Berlin, born in Edmonton, 6'3", 205 pounds. 3rd season with the University of Alberta Golden Bears. Jones, a shot, blocker stop from Matt Berlin. And the fans are loving it.
I like this a lot. Great call by the Oilers to do this and the coaching staff to give him an opportunity to step on that ice. It's the dream of every kid that plays the game. And he gets to go in there for a couple of minutes. And I'll tell you what, this will be a story for the rest of his life. And who knows down the road, maybe he'll continue to play. He's playing at the University of Alberta right now. And you never know.
Down a goalie already because of an illness to Stuart Skinner, Jack Campbell comes out of the game with 2.5 minutes to go. The Oilers players, with the leadership of McDavid, decided to give emergency backup goaltender Matt Berlin a shot in the NHL. And he faced literally one shot in the NHL, and he stopped it! What an unforgettable experience to play in an actual National Hockey League game for the 25-year-old from the University of Alberta. And classy of the Oilers to make that happen, because obviously they didn't have to do it, but I'm glad they did. So, what do you think? And what was your favorite one? Leave a comment in the comment box down below. But for now, that is it for this edition of Steve's Hat Picks. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. I'm a secondary assist truther.